Bristol Library. It was me that screwed up the computer system that time when I was doing work experience. Ruth, any final farewells you'd like to say?
Oh, God, I don't know. Brian Clough, obviously. Amy Winehouse, thanks for the
thanks for the music, thanks for the memories.
Yeah.
Sarah?
I'm glad that I was converted to country music before my death.
Before you died?
Yeah.
Is there any regrets before we die?
We
I got
don't
so
have
many.
time.
There's no time for regrets. There is no time for regrets. Listen, whilst we try and dismantle the bomb, let's hear another of your choices. We, as I say, each week I like to have people come in. They recommend tunes. You, the listeners, can do it, and so can my guests. Sarah, what have you got for us?
It's What Have I Done to Deserve This by the Pet Shop Boys with Dusty Springfield.
Right, why have you chosen that?
Because it was one of the most unlikely and yet genius collaborations, I think, in the history of pop music.
Well, I don't remember it as clearly as you, and I don't remember it as vividly as that, so let's listen again. Let's re-familiarise ourselves with it. Pet Shop Boys and Dusty Springfield, what have I done to deserve this? The choice of Sarah, one of my guests today on the Steve Show, Six Music. How's it going? I'm Steve. It's interesting, I've always I slightly dismissed the Pet Shop Boys. They come under my radar, do you know, they dip under my radar. And yet, once I was at Glastonbury and they came on, it was mid-afternoon, they weren't a headline act or anything, and you suddenly reminded of just how many great tunes they have. You know, they're pop masters. Tennant, of course, a very unlikely frontman, but yeah, it's a great tune, and it's nice to be reminded again of it, and I appreciate that, Sarah. Thank you very much.
No problem, anytime.
Are you a Pet Shop Boys fan?
I'm, yes, a very big Pet Shop Boys fan. I was there at the beginning.
Sure.
I've gone with them through the dark times.
Has there been dark times?
There have been dark times, yes.
In
when
what
they decided to be acoustic and play guitars and stuff, it just didn't work.
Really? I've never even heard any of that stuff.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Really?
They just got rid of the computers and the keyboards and it didn't work.
Was it lame?
Yeah.
I'm always intrigued. I feel like I want to sort of dig some of that stuff out and have a listen.
Do you think they got badly into debt or something? Had to sell everything?
Yeah.
All they were left with was a kind of penny whistle and an old guitar
Exactly.
belonged to someone's granddad.
They've had to hop
Yeah.
the Yamaha.
Yeah. Neil, listen, we got to go acoustic. Bad news. The bailiffs are in.
Yeah. Ruth, what are your views on the Pet Shop Boys?
Like you, they kind of dip under my radar. Mind you, I've got my radar is very selective. Bands like U2 and R.E.M. also dip below my radar.
Yeah.
I've never had much time for them. And the Pet Shop, I heard Neil Tennant on Desert Island Disc the other day, and he was very cogent and very intelligent. I do like some of his music, but it's not. I'd never put it on my iPod. I'd never listen to it. I'd never choose to listen to it.
Nice use of the word cogent.
Thanks.
Thanks very much
I use it
indeed.
twice a day.
We've had a couple of we've had emails and texts coming in just picking Rufus's brain. Earlier I foolishly mentioned that I thought he was a man who knew a lot about lots of little things. Sorry, what I mean to say is a little about lots of things. It's a very
Yes.
difficult phrase to get right there.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just I'm useless. we had an email just now which I know you instantly wanted to respond to.
That's right. Unfortunately, it didn't get signed off because I think she or he must have sent it before having finished it. But it says, "Hi folks, I'm cooking chard for the first time. Is it going to shrink like spinach? Spinach spelled I-C-H at the end. Spinach, which I quite like. Is it going to shrink like spinach? Please help feeding 3 hungry men. Teaspoon-sized portions would just not do." I'm sure she would say would just not do.
See, I don't even know what chard is.
Chard is it's in the spinach family. It's got usually red stems.
Okay.
And it's very good with lamb. It's very good with mashed potato and
Well, I love both of those
sausages,
things, so I'm surprised I've not had chard, yeah.
Well, maybe I'll cook it for you later.
Thanks very much
It
indeed.
doesn't shrink. The message. I wish I had a person to address this to. Don't worry, it won't shrink in the same way that spinach does. It will retain its shape and still slightly al dente on the stalk. Is just the way to do it. Make too much and then save the mashed potato and make bubble and squeak the next day. That's all I'd say.
Thank you very much indeed. You know, he genuinely, people, I should make that point, he has not gone online or anything to find that out. That is just from the top of his mind, which is impressive. You've got another choice for us musically. Let's hope that your music choice is exciting as your chart information.
Yeah. This is Elvis Costello with Burt Bacharach from the album Painted from Memory, which came out in 1998. And it's a song called I Still Have That Other Girl. Now, I'm a big fan of pop songs which get everything done and dusted in 3 minutes or under. And this song is 2 minutes and 48 seconds long. It does absolutely everything you want from a pop song. It's a classic Bacharach track, and a lot of the critics really went for Costello in the 90s because he started doing stuff with the Broadskill Quartet and he started doing Spike and Mighty Like a Rose and all these albums that got critically panned and didn't sell very well. I'd say seek them out, listen to these Juliet Letters albums, the Painted from Memory, because they're really, really nice, and I think this song does everything you want from a 3-minute pop song.
We'll be the judge of that. Elvis Costello and Burt Bacharach, I Still Have That Other Girl in My Head. It's a beautiful tune, Ruth, I have to say, and before we heard Pet Shop Boys, Dusty Springfield, the choice of Sarah, and I'm afraid that the Pet Shop Boys, PSB, they are never going to be able to compete with that tune, which I have heard before, and I think it's adorable.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you embarrassed and ashamed of the choice you made now?
I am. I must try harder.
Please do. Thank you very much. No, it's a wonderful tune, that, and it could have also made it onto the Seduction CD.
Ooh, yeah, it might have done, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Now listen, if you are a regular listener, you will know that an old friend of mine, Dave, is walking from Land's End to John O'Groats for no particular reason, and each week we've been catching up with him because he's a man of impeccable music taste, and each week he likes to recommend a tune whilst also filling us in on his latest bit of walking. Dave, are you there?
Oh, Steve, thank goodness.
What?
I'm all messed up. I've got rain on me and mud.
Really?
And, yeah,
Have you
it's
just-
lashing down outside. I'm standing here in my pants. Something down there hurts. But, the sound of your voice, I'm drying already.
Did you just come in, literally just come in from a bit of walking?
Just a little bit of walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 miles in the rain to Edinburgh. So Edinburgh in Scotland.
Oh, well done, you're almost there then.
Whoop. Almost.
So this is week 7 that we speak to you. So you've been going 7 weeks. You've been spending this much time with yourself, alone. Because I couldn't spend this much time with you, Dave.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not alone, Steve.
Sure.
I carry that little part of you with me.
Yeah.
But I'm always meeting new people, seeing new things, experiencing different kinds of weather.
Has it been the adventure you thought it would be, or has it been really dull?
I didn't think about that. We keep getting back to this. I had no preconceptions, no thoughts. I just set off and wanted to see what would happen.
And how has this week been walking? It's obviously been unpleasant
moist,
weather.
Mainly moist
Mainly
and
moist.
muddy and relentless and Scottish.
Really?
Yeah, I've had hot haggis every day so far.
How do you find the Scotch?
They just tend to be there in front of me.
Sure.
They're exactly the same as everyone else, but a bit hairier.
Do you find that have you sort of made friends along the way? Are you the sort of person who can just sit in a pub and start up a conversation? I've always feared that if I went travelling on my own, I would never have the bravery to just go up and start a conversation. Because those sort of people always annoy me when they come over to me.
To share my experiences with other people. I've got talked to a few odd people, but the people who tend to talk to you in pubs are the ones that you don't really want to get talking to in the first place.
Sure.
So what are they doing in a pub on their own anyway, and why would they want to talk to me?
Yeah.
So that kind of rules out any meaningful conversation. So the kind of people I meet are the kind of people who, unfortunately, I'm having to pay to service me.
Right. Right.
So it's their obligation to be nice.
Sure.
I'm not learning anything about mankind.
When you say people that you're paying to service you, do you mean shop staff, don't you, as opposed to...
Yes, shop staff.
Right, just want to clear that up, yeah. A little bit touchy there for a moment.
Yeah.
Touch and go. Which choice have you made for us this week? Because we've had some excellent choices from it, and it's interesting in a way that we find you in Scotland. Is it a choice that maybe has any ties to Scotland?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay, great.
Let's clear that up.
Okay, good.
My choice, what is my choice? Yes, this is Dennis Wilson, who was the first of the Beach Boys to release a solo album. That album was in 1977, Pacific Ocean Blue. If you like the track and you want to buy it, you may struggle because it's not currently in circulation. So you may have to, I don't know, whatever illegal downloading method you can grab.
We can't advocate that illegal downloading of any description, Dave. So please take that back.
I'm not advocating it. And the track is called River Song.
Dennis Wilson, is he the one that tragically died?
He's one of the ones who have tragically died, yes. Yeah, but that has no bearing on the quality of the song.
Dave,
or the chart placing, which wasn't particularly impressive.
I appreciate, as ever, your contribution to the show. I am picturing you now in your pants, and it's given me a thrill, so I appreciate that.
I'm still got rain on me, you know.
Towel yourself off nice and hard while we listen to Dennis Wilson.
Okay.
All the best, Dave, and the end is in sight, so good luck.
It's almost in sight. It's a long way, though.
Don't worry, you'll make it.
I will.
All right.
I will.
All the best.
Yeah.
Dennis Wilson. River Song by Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys, and as Dave pointed out, that track is very difficult to get hold of because the album is not available, I think, either here or in the States, which is very curious because I've never heard it, but from reports I have read, it is an excellent album. So if you do have a copy, then I was going to ask you to make me a copy. Of course, I can't advocate that because it's a criminal act. So do not keep it to yourself, and maybe just invite me around. We can listen to it together. Yeah, right. Well, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go to the news shortly, but after that we have Iggy Pop and more music, plus another listener's choice, plus of course Richard's fiendishly difficult pop music question, which I think is probably absurd this week, as they are each week. Here's the news. Back after that with Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop, I'm Bored, from I believe an album that he put out in 1979. Should have researched that, really. It didn't have the authority I was hoping it would have. You know, because as a DJ, you like to sound authoritative. I felt maybe I was a bit lacking. A lot of people are saying, well, Steve, you had the entire news and the duration of that song. Maybe to check that information out. Why did you just open your mouth and hope that you'd know the information? I don't know, people. I can't answer that, alright? I was sat here, I was enjoying the music, I was enjoying the company. I didn't think it through. I'm sorry, I apologise, alright? It was going so well, the show was going great, and I've ruined it, and I apologise. I've lowered the tone. Rufus, quickly, dig me out with perhaps a droll impression of Iggy Pop.
Oh, goodness. I could take my shirt off and show you my scars.
Please do,
the extent of it, I think.
Yeah. He's a strange man, isn't he?
He
Pop.
is, isn't he? I wish I had some Iggy Pop stories. I don't have any. Sarah, you got any?
No, I don't know him actually. No.
Just trying to think what will redeem this link.
Moving on.
No, I don't know. I feel like we should. I feel like we can. You know, I've heard a lot of DJs, and their method is to just keep talking in the hope that something will occur to them.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
So I might just keep doing that.
Well, I know Iggy Pop's drummer's best friend's wife.
Round of applause. You've
is that
no,
good
well
enough?
done. Yeah,
That's
it's
very
excellent.
good.
Thanks very much. In the
pretty
Steve
good.
Wright style. No, that
What's
was.
her name?
Cheryl.
Really?
Oh, that's lovely. That's really sweet. You wouldn't have expected it, would you, to be Cheryl? I'd have thought probably a Margaret or a Susan.
Yeah, Barbara.
Yeah.
A Barbara, perhaps, but it turns out it was Cheryl, so that's fascinating. Thanks for coming.
That's all right.
Let's just hope that bomb goes off. We've been waiting for some time. Now listen, I generally don't like to play music that you cannot rush out and buy or download, because I always think it's a bit frustrating when you hear a DJ say that song's great and then it's not out for another 6 weeks. But it's worth checking this band out. The Twang, they've been hotly tipped by various other people who are far more hip and in touch than I am. They're a Brummie band, and although you can't yet buy their first single, which I think comes out later in March 12th, I believe, but you can go to their MySpace page, you can check out some of their tunes there and see if you fancy them. This is a track by the Twang. It's called Either Way. It's only a demo, so forgive them that, but I think it's quite engaging. See what you think. The Twang and a track called Either Way, which is only a demo, and you can check it out on their MySpace page, plus a couple of other tunes. Their debut single, Wide Awake, will be available to download from March the 12th. Guys, what did you make of the Twang? They're hotly tipped, apparently.
Yes, I really like that. I've heard about them a lot, but I hadn't actually heard them. I think they're very good.
It reminds me a little, there's a whiff of the Stone Roses, maybe. There's a whiff, I know, of, Mike Skinner.
There is a little bit of that, yeah. It's the kind of Stone Roses headed slightly towards the Black Country.
Sure.
Black Country. It was great. I thought
Lots
it was
of
fantastic.
baggy percussion in the background.
Very much baggy percussion, yes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, indeed. Well, if you do go searching on iTunes or any other MP3 download site, I know there's many out there, I can't advocate any particular one because it is the BBC, but if you do go looking for it, make sure you get the right Twang, because there is another band called The Twang, who you don't want to confuse them with, because they are a sort of country and western covers act that do cover versions of Britney Spears, kind of in the playground going, yeah man, I love the Twang. Yeah, I got the Twang as my ringtone, because you'd actually, for instance, you'd have this, which is their version of Creep by Radiohead.
But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
Let's said it back again.
Killed it. Yeah.
I don't belong here.
I always think with bands like that, who are sort of a novelty act, I always think, why not try and write some of your own songs, and why dedicate so much time to just turning out silly, stupid versions of other people's music?
What I'm interested in as well is how two completely different bands could possibly come up with the same name.
The Twang.
The Twang, which is a pretty weird name, and you'd think the guy, you guys from Birmingham who played that really good song, and then, oh, guy, listen to this, listen, I've just got one, listen, plays that version of Creep, same, they're called The Twang.
Yeah, both called The Twang.
How did that happen?
But it's bound to cause confusion. I just know it's going to cause confusion. You see, a lot of people are bound to be buying the wrong Twang.
I know, but I didn't think you could. It's, in equity, you can't have two actors with the same name. That's that's why you get Samuel L. Jackson and Michael J. Fox and all of that.
Sure.
It should be the L. Twangs or something.
Please, guys, when you're downloading the Twang come March 12th, please do not make the mistake of downloading that version of the Twang, because you are going to embarrass yourself. Okay, I've done my little bit of public service work now. Each week we like to set a stupidly difficult music question. They have been preposterously hard in the past. There was an excellent one, which was, I can't even go through it again. I'll tell you off air, Ruth, but I think it'll challenge you. But Richard is a guy who hosts a music quiz, and this guy knows an awful lot about pointless music trivia. Each week he sets a question. Here's one for this week.
Number one singles of the 1960s.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know the 3 number one singles of the 1960s that had a bird's name in the title. The 3 number one singles of the 1960s that had a bird's name in the title.
64046, stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk if you think you can answer that. When he says birds, I think he does mean birds that fly as opposed to the chicks.
Yeah.
The women, the ladies. But, yes, you got the question. Good luck with the answer, 64046. Formed in the mid-80s in Minneapolis, that's alt country.